Oh yeah.
Madness.
You ready?
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, for the second time ever, I'm going to be checking out a video from Taemin. This is his music video for Criminal. This is probably the most requested song I've gotten to do for him since I did my first video for him, which I will link here. Guys, this is a reaction and analysis, so I will be pausing primarily to talk about vocal technique, as that's where my expertise lies. As always, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, and if I am enhancing your Taemin experience, please consider joining my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And one more big shout out to my partner for this channel, TuneLark. If you are interested in taking virtual lessons for music for any kind of instrument, whether it be violin or guitar or bass or music composition or production, there are expert instructors awaiting you on TuneLark. So please follow the link in the description below for 50% off your first trial lesson. And without further ado, let's dive into Taemin. Yep. I love how we're not even into the main part of his singing yet, where we have this really cool build. You can feel everything building. They're using some essentially high-pass filters, or rather low-pass filters on some of these instruments, where they're allowing, over time, more and more high frequencies to come in. Vocally, it's pretty stripped down at the start. It's just la, la, la. Just a few la-la-las here and there, nothing crazy. And something that's so amazing about Taemin and a lot of these K-pop artists is they have these amazing voices, and they're also equally as good at dancing and choreography. And from what I hear, Taemin is one of the best dancers out there. So I have so much respect and appreciation for, you know, someone who's so multi-talented and who's so proficient at these different skills. You know, I might comment a little bit on the music video, but that's really not where my expertise lies. But these music videos also blow me away. They're like $1 million productions, all of these big K-pop music videos, so they're always a blast to watch. So let's run that back, and then we'll get into the main part of the solo. So Taemin's starting this, you know, vocally in a very soft, intimate, breathy place, right? We're not getting any of his big high notes yet. It's just kind of like he's singing and almost speaking right into your ear. This is a great way to start a song vocally because it gives you a long place to grow. It gives you, you know, a climax to progress to. You're not just coming out of the gate with all the power. And also the background production, musical production standpoint is also pretty subdued, right? We have this kick where just the low frequencies are coming in. We have a few higher instruments, but it's nowhere near like a wall of sound that we might get, you know, later in this song. And so this first verse feels very intimate and kind of dark and shrouded, you know, very similar to how the music video actually looks. So that's a really great thing they've done here. So he's just up to a B3. So this is very much middle voice for Taemin, who is naturally a tenor voice type. So see that's like a really great example of how to build up to a chorus. In some music, it would be building up to like a drop. We don't get like a full kind of electronic drop in a lot of these K-pop songs, but we do get a much bigger, more exciting chorus in terms of, instrumentation and vocal fireworks. We feel him building up his voice, kind of stacking it higher and higher, leading into this next section. And we also get, accompaniment from the instruments also revving up in intensity. We get I think we get a more intense kick drum. We get this snare, we get that coming in too as we enter into this penultimate verse before the chorus, the kind of pre-chorus. And it all kind of lends itself and blends in this kind of synchronicity to build intensity to, make this chorus as exciting as possible. It starts right here. Up to E4. Maintaining chef's voice. Up to, so I'm going to believe we're in E minor. So he's going da, 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 all the way up to the E, and he does the same pattern, goes just up the scale, but then ends on that F sharp, which is the second tone in that scale, and this makes it unresolved. Right? If he went up to the E, we'd be right on the 1 of that key, of that chord. Instead, he goes do, and it wants to resolve down to the E. So that's a really great way to build suspense and kind of make us want this chorus to come, because we want this note to resolve. And just a very nice full chest connection all the way up to that F sharp 4. So he's maintaining a very light mechanism in this chorus. It sounds like almost entirely his head voice. And he's getting up to high G. Those high notes, which really aren't very high for him still, but this is G4, so this is G below tenor high C. And keeping it very light again, what we get, the bigger shift in this chorus is that we have a lot more action in the electronics in the background. We get this like, we almost get like an arpeggiation, an arpeggiated synth happening in the background. And so it's still not a wall of sound, but there is a lot more happening. There are a lot of moving parts happening. And I'm sure you guys understand the music video, the subtitles I've got up right now, the vocal technique, the music production. It's all too much to get every detail. Sometimes I'll get comments of like, how'd you miss this thing? And I'm just like, I do these videos unedited. This is my first time watching, and I kind of comment on whatever flows into my consciousness. There's no way to get every detail of every aspect of the video. It's just not possible. I've never seen anyone be able to do it. So that's why I focus primarily on music. Once in a while, I'll comment on the video or the choreography, or if I happen to notice something in the text. But you guys understand. There's only so much bandwidth. Anyway, that's what's up. That's what's going on musically. So you get this like low, bassy, like very sawtooth way of sounding, where it's got an edge to it. This very synth bass. You'll hear this in a lot of like house music. If a house producer wants to add some of that heft into a drop without actually putting that heft into like a subwoofer, you'll put it into like a low kind of bitey synth, and we get some of that in here as well, in addition to all this kind of arpeggiated synth happening as well. So he also flips up just for a second, and it's kind of unpitched a little bit, meaning I don't think he's really trying to nail this E5 that he's singing up to, but he is going, he's like kind of flipping up just for a second, of course in this lighter falsetto mechanism, all the way up to that E5 in this latter half of the chorus. So, of course, second half of the chorus, as you'd expect, is very similar to the first half of the chorus. You know, of course, the text is changing, but production value is the same. This, like, keeping this light mechanism, singing all of these high Gs. Like that motif continues throughout the second part of the chorus. And let's go on and see if there's any changes verse 1 to verse 2. So that's a cool little production. Okay, it is definitely different. So that's a cool little production technique. If you notice, but at the end of the first chorus, instead of going straight into the second verse, there's a few moments where kind of everything stops and it quickly rebuilds. This is a great technique used by producers to just kind of separate the songs a little more. Instead of having a really smooth transition, you actually intentionally separate one section to the next. So we get a very clear distinction between the end of the first chorus and the start of the second verse. And then what I just noticed in the first couple seconds is the production changes, right? There's different drum rhythms happening. There's different instrumentation compared to the first verse. So we're getting a lot of contrast section to section. Obviously, the music video changes radically as well, and there's different text. But just from a production standpoint, it's dark, even more darker. It's darker and more subdued than the first verse. Everything almost sounds like it's underwater in a way. If you just kind of pay attention to the atmosphere that's being set here, it seems very underwater. Vocally, it's very similar. Vocally, he's pretty much remained in this intimate, breathy place the whole time, aside from his ascension into the chorus when he sang up to that F-sharp 4 in pure chest voice. It's keeping very light, it's very intimate, it's very sexy and sultry. See how that kind of feels underwater a little bit? And it comes back. Okay. Yes. So now we're back into this pre-chorus, I would call, where we get this kick snare pattern back. And we get his voice building, remaining in chest voice, all the way up to that high E. And he will likely go back to the F sharp again like he did in the first pre-chorus. Yep, F sharp. I'm not going to go all the way back and check, but it sounds like that bassy synth I was talking about earlier, the kind of bitey, bassy house synth. It sounds like there's actually more of that happening in this second chorus. It sounds like there's more action in that low synth register than there was in the first chorus. So that's one element I think is different. I'm not going to go back and fact check. You guys can let me know in the comments. But, that's one thing you can do chorus to chorus, because in a song, in a pop song especially, you want each chorus to be more exciting and more even interesting perhaps than the previous chorus, and so you climax in the last chorus. It's very standard to build a song that way. It's how you keep people's attention. So something as small as just throwing one extra element into the second chorus or adding one vocal harmony is enough to make it different from the first chorus in a way that wants to keep people listening. So the K-pop producers are some of the best in the world, so they know how to make a captivating song that you want to keep listening to, because it keeps changing enough to keep your attention. I don't know what's being said in the background, but it sounds like like an emergency call or a stress call coming in to like the police. But I don't know, and it's not in the captions. But that's the actual filter it's going through. You've got Taemin doing the la 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 la. You've got him doing that, which is kind of the first section of the song, bringing that back in this. You can call this a bridge section, essentially, between the second and third chorus. And then you have this cool background, like police distress call happening. That's what it sounds like to me. And it's just kind of adding a little bit of madness and chaos into the soundscape. Madness. Someone let me know, does he actually say destroy me more? Someone that speaks this language? That's pretty crazy if he actually says that. Destroy me more. I don't really trust YouTube captions. There's a little more action in that arpeggiated synth, especially right at the end of phrases. You hear it go do 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 right at the end, and then kind of echo off in this really well done reverb situation. And then we have Taemin also doing a little bit more vocals in the background. You hear his lead vocals very clear in the front, and then you hear him kind of what sounds like ad-libbing essentially in the background of this chorus. Again, just adding things, adding just a couple things between the second chorus and this chorus to create that climax effect. And actually, he's actually added a lot of vocals. We get the do 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 do. We get that, but we also have him singing really high in chest voice for the first time in the song. I think all the way up to B4 or tenor high B. Just below tenor high C. So we get him really doing that. He's up into that belt range now. There was so much going on, I didn't even notice it the first time. But, really singing full out, maintaining that chest voice connection up there to give, that powerful side of Taemin's voice that we really haven't heard so far in this song. So he's singing the same text, he's just doing an upper harmony on all of this, and he's hitting a lot of those high B's in pure chest voice. So this is actually a pretty significant addition compared to the second chorus. We get an entire new vocal line that's much more intense inherently because he's maintaining that chest voice connection all the way up into his high belt range. Yeah, so just a lot of extra vocal harmonies there, a little bit more from those synths in the background, but the main new element, which is great, and I love to hear it. I was hoping we get to hear some of his high belt range in the song, which we did on the last one. Guilty, I think is what it's called. He's got a great voice, great high belt range. So that intimate soft singing you start out with, that stuff's easy, right? That's, anyone can sing that way, but not everyone has a really well controlled high chest range belt. So great to see that. Once again, just an amazing music video, just such a high quality production value. Music production's amazing, audio engineering's amazing. Taemin, both a great singer, great artist, great dancer. It's been really fun to analyze this artist, and please, any more recommendations you have for Taemin, I'd love to hear them, and I will certainly be doing more K-pop going into the future. I'm really enjoying analyzing this genre, and it seems like you guys are enjoying it too. So Guys, please leave a like and comment and subscription. Consider joining my Patreon if I enhanced your Taemin musical experience. And once again, a big shout out to TuneLark, my partner company. If you guys want any virtual lessons, any instrument, anything vocally, check out the link in the description below to get 50% off your first trial lesson. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for coming. Peace.